Welcome to Rainbow's Rising Podcast. This is Rainbow Raaja here. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. There is nothing better than a brand new year, especially after 2020. Oh man, do we need a brand new year. So, besides just kind of having those wonderful affirmations and New Year's resolutions that we all plan on having, I recommend making some if you haven't. And for New Year's resolutions, the best thing to do to make them manifest is to recognize that those resolutions have already happened. That on some timeline, some way, shape, or form, on a quantum level, your goals have been met. Just sit with that. I want you to imagine, just go ahead and meditate into that. Close your eyes, feel it out. What would it feel like to have your resolution met? What kind of expression do you have on your face? What does your life look like? What emotions do you feel? How do you interact with people now that you have what you want? Really project that into your heart space, into your environment at this moment, so you can just kind of create a bubble of that goal being met. That is how you can really hone in on manifesting your resolutions for this year. Just want to get that out of the way because I think that's a really powerful tool to have in your arsenal, is manifestation. There's a lot more advanced techniques you can do, but that's a good starting point until you learn some energy work. And I think this year, this season, I am going to go ahead and give you guys a free Reiki activation and teach you how to use Reiki. So that's coming up in season 2 here, as well as I'm going to be a little bit more open about my personal beliefs and some opinions I have about those beliefs. So this month, January, I'm going to stick to having one guest on a month. This month, we are going to have Nalini Diosara. She will be joining us at the end of the month, so please join us for that. She is a powerful light language activator, and her art is just, if you haven't taken a look, please do. It's beautiful. She does incredible sound activations, and she's been an inspiration for me feeling a lot more comfortable sharing my gifts with my clients. So I got activated to light language when I met a gal in a shamanic class, and she and I were paired up for an activity, and she pulled open a journal and she was showing me this light language that she had written. And I remember going, this looks like scribbles, but it's cool. It's cool. She's all into these aliens, and she talks to her spirit guides. And I was so drawn to her the whole day. And finally, when I got to talk to her, she was like, well, I was just here to meet you. I'm not coming back tomorrow. Bye. And I gave her my card, and we ended up connecting, and she did this healing on me that was out of this world. That's the only way I can describe it. It was etheric, and it sounded like aliens and angels, and I was transported. Energetically speaking, I was in a different place. My body was laying on a massage table in the middle of my living room, but man alive, I was in this giant cosmic bowl floating in space. It was insane. It completely opened my eyes to the power of even what she was doing. And I was like, what is this? And she's like, oh, don't worry, you'll be doing it in a couple of weeks. Okay, bye now. I was just here to activate you. And she did. And even though I'd taken like sound therapy and I did a fair amount of meditation, and I was used to mantra chanting with singing bowls, I would do that normally, and this this mantra chanting that I would be doing with my singing bowls eventually turned into these longer, more improvised segments that did not have a mantra. And they felt very light and beautiful, and I felt so full of life. And I was afraid to share these with my clients at first. I started with friends and shared it with friends, and kind of freaked my boyfriend out at first. He was like, we're not doing this. This is, no, we're not. Mm-mm. And I was like, okay, sweetie. But for the most part, like, I started doing it with clients who were open to the idea, and people just really started seeing results. And the more that I trusted it, the more clients came. The more that I trusted it, the more I opened up to this energy, to this connection. And I really began to see my own life shifting and taking the form of dreams that I'd had, but now were coming into this reality. And the feedback my clients were having was profound. I was used to clients being very satisfied with my services, seeing huge changes in their life. But what would take 3 or 4 sessions, people were seeing in one. And it was alarming how quickly these people were going from 0 to 60. You know, they'd leave, they'd call me in, 3 weeks and be like, oh my gosh, my entire life has changed. I started this business and now I'm doing great and I'm going to be moving and I'd like to get another session before that happens. And it was really incredible. And I can't help but think that there was something to this light language thing. And I played around with it. I noticed that there were some people on YouTube doing light language, and that's when I started to notice that some of the phrasing and the dialects and the sounds that I was making were also made by these other people. I didn't know other people were doing this besides the lady who activated me, who also didn't know other people were doing it. And then I was doing it, and then there was more people doing it, and that seemed really bizarre to me. That made me realize there was something much bigger going on. So for me, I feel full trust having created these relationships with these specific guides that I have. And the more that I work with them, the stronger their energy comes in, and the more I'm able to trust them, because I know the work they're doing is light work. I have yet to have any light language beings come through that weren't for transformational healing work or energy work or someone hoping to help. I've channeled some not so great things in my younger days, but I don't ever get that feeling. Even watching people online, I have yet to find anyone who is channeling negative energy through light language. So I myself have come to trust these sources, and I do a lot of shielding and a lot of grounding. Where this expands to these star seeds, okay, is this light language. You can see it as from spirit, from your higher self. You can see it from these, these other galaxies, these other interdimensional collectives, like the Pleiadians and such. What I'm noticing is that they really are activating people. They're opening people's gifts up, and they're allowing us to connect to each other on an energetic level more than we have, at least during my lifetime. And it has become a very powerful catalyst for jumpstarting your activation process. And if you've been listening to me for a time, I do quite a bit of light language activation from time to time. I didn't want to make this entire podcast series about, oh yes, let Rainbow Raaja work on you and do healings. because I really want you guys to explore and to hear other people's perspectives and to recognize that there is a lot more out there than even what I have to show, even what I have experienced. And I don't know what your guys' experience with the healings are, but if you haven't, please go listen to some of those earlier, last season's light language activations, and listen and let me know if anything happens during your week. Or let me know in the comments below if you have listened and you saw changes or shifts happening in your life, because I would love to know. And I'm sure the other listeners would like to know what your experience is as well. I just wanted to give a little tidbit about what is light language, because I'm sure it's a little triggering for some, as it was for me when I first got into it. Now, I don't know how many of you out there are aware of these subgroups and categories in the Ascension, communities. So there's these people called starseeds, and they're pretty much, they're literally sparks of star energy from other constellations and galaxies that are here to help with the ascension process of mankind. So they didn't go through a whole bunch of incarnations here on this planet. They kind of, some of them probably did, but for the most part, a lot of them claim they just skipped straight on over, and they usually feel pretty out of place here with the situation we're in. So starseeds, they were first kind of coined as star children back in the 80s. You might have heard of like indigo children, crystal children, rainbow children. Those are starseeds. And then it evolved from there as to including different star systems like Pleiadians and Arcturians and Andromedans and Reptilians and et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm not even going to go into them all. The starseeds find these groups they resonate with, and they all came from these star systems to bring about specific types of energy work or healing or magic or abilities that were not present here until this new round, I guess. And they were all kind of born within a good 30, 40 years of time, and they were here to break down the social constructs. Indigo children were here to break down all of the old ways and to start kind of rebelling. The crystal children were the super sensitive, creative types who started creating and expanding the arts. Also, they got coined a lot with mental illnesses such as bipolar and schizophrenia and anxiety disorders, and they were usually hit with a whole bunch of trauma because they were just so empathic. They could not figure out who was safe to trust and who wasn't safe to trust, because they just would see the pure golden essence of somebody's soul and didn't see all the warning signs up until they were slaughtered, emotionally speaking. The crystal children and then the indigo children usually had like addiction issues because of the mass amount of discordant energies all around. And it is said that these rainbow children, which are the current generation of children kind of coming in who are just straight up very gifted, very well aware of their abilities, their powers, might even have memories of past lives, and just kind of are very advanced for children. They are said to be incarnating into pretty balanced households. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think we all need a good amount of trauma to activate us. I'll take that one with a pinch of salt, if you know what I mean. So, anyway, light language is, to some people, a spirit language. Light language is the core vibrational frequency of our intentions, of our soul's way of communicating through emotions and love and compassion. And it isn't always understood through words. And many times it actually changes the physical body or physical molecules of three-dimensional matter. So light language is more vibrational than it is communication. It is to shift. It is to literally like amp up energy. So there are different ways that people are connecting with this spirit language. And spirit language has been around since the dawn of time. Shamans for over hundreds of thousands of years have been connecting with spirits and connecting through with spirit language. And now more than ever, there's a ridiculous amount of people who are capable of speaking these different dialects. And if you actually do some research, as I have done, because I was super skeptical of it at first, there are dialects. And even if the channeler does not know the dialect, they will, you watch enough of these channelers, you can see this person has the same pattern and the same, the same wording as the next one. Oh, they must be Pleiadian, or, oh my goodness, this person is definitely Lyran, because there's this certain rolling of the tongue that's happening, and there are certain intonations happening there. And I noticed that there really is a difference in dialects, and there are quite a few, like more than 5, because I know I've channeled more than 5 different, not just beings, but actual languages. And it could just be on intention basis, like, oh yes, my intention is to do this, or I'm open to receiving whatever my client needs most in this moment, whatever's for their highest and best good. And then I just receive whatever that is, and maybe it's location-based or level-based, based on the energetic body and the physical body. But for the most part, I'm noticing that there are multiple different dialects. There's literally thousands of these spirit people, entities, guides, that are connecting with our planet and our people, our species at this time. And I have a fair amount of discernment, being that I've had some really bad things happen in my life, and I've met some negative entities, and I've dealt with things that are not so pleasant, people and beings, both. So I'm not somebody who goes, oh my gosh, I'm gonna jump right on this starseed train. No, I was like, what is this? Why are people speaking in tongues? This is bizarre. This is really weird. And I first encountered it. So going into people's hesitancy with light language, not only does it sound weird, but people get really intellectually interactive. They really want to know what these beings are saying. What are they meaning? What is the intention here? Now I can channel English from these collectives, these guides I work with. But most of the time, when I ask why they are doing these things, what is the message here, it is purely that the certain resonances and the tones and the sounds are meant to open up specific energy passageways in our bodies to release certain blocks. Our bodies are holding a lot of water. Water is like most of our body. It's like 60% of our body, right? So with that, these specific tones are held and reverberate through our molecules, through our being, and anything that's stuck whether emotionally or mentally or even physically, can be actually like vibrated out or moved along the system that it needs to move so that it can be released through our own body's natural detox system, whether that be crying or dancing or singing or going to the bathroom, our natural ways of detoxing, sweating. So our body is meant to heal itself. It's made to do that. People forget. You might not know. But I went through a lot of anatomy and physiology doing massage therapy. And let me tell you, the body heals itself. Doctors and healers and massage therapists and physical therapists, we have techniques that allow the body to recognize there is something wrong so it can heal itself. And of course, medicine and seeing your doctor, super important. Please don't stop doing that. But when you bring your attention to illness, to imbalance, your ability to get well is based on your mindset. And anytime a doctor gives a patient a fatal diagnosis, they tell you to get comfortable, to increase your quality of living. And it's not because, you're going to want to enjoy the last days of your life. It's because when you are happy, when you feel content, when you are grateful for your life and for the time you have, your body will naturally heal because those are very positive emotions. Our body can feel safe. We want to make our body feel safe so it can heal, so it can return to normal. Disease is because we don't feel safe or comfortable in our own skin. So this light language provides that cocoon of safety. It can provide almost this melodic rhythm and gentleness that will soothe you into a place where your body can start to feel safe. Speaking of feeling safe, I would like to end this podcast with a blessing in light language to all of you for your year to be beneficial and safe and wonderful, and may you achieve more than what you expect to this year. Okay? Unwia chanju tunam hea sholo kochombala imba himala kondo hepanjala konja ela mano ampa himolo injampun hea Unjambala kuin poluita naitu hutuanda heana hinna poloko heando humbai hinjunju ampant himbu humbuta hetanda con jinjambalai Huan ya hean hoan yo hua mohuan yo poa non jan ye amboyan joan dai kutunja poto kun ya maen yan ya hikan jan dai molan jai pondia no kuin din din diando toa Ipa ito anda I ando konda I panja handa ito. He shoto anja patoa. He main yan yamuan. Nana ito huan yon. He anuan huan. Kanya he mandohan ya. He anu hua. He anya moa. Yon moan ya he ako moya na no hoa moa hian ya him jan nai kandoa ya hian nai he ono toa he manya he ono amma he aya Hoanaya He shotochoan tan nai tan tatai He katanda itatata no yanja He cha no koko anja He mojo jan boto anj He panjan boto jan boto kun jan bolokon He aikam boto jan boto dindanda ita Hisho chonjoa, mojo wanjoda, he toto wanda jakan, janjajabo, hembo joan janbo apan, he tata toy punja, tan jatutuam. Eta to toen tan tuata kanjin jambo tuichin jambatata. He kanjin janjabo chocho anjajabot. E mananai to. E panja pondo tua. Meta tambotin janjambola. He kanjin moto anjama. He mainjuamba he. E painpa. He kan jubipadua. E ponduan. Da Manana no Shasha poto nakuan e painda doa machocho anjanda huachuanja e main no hoa matoa tantoa e shohomba embandoa no koa tahi e kondoai e pandai moa enjandoa enjahuanda moshondoia embondoa emboa enoa eboenda him eboenda ando eshoanja himbatai enwa mohuanja eshoanta emboli ani atukointi janja joa jandai moa eshoshoa Thank you for listening. And there were several, I guess, I like to think of it as guides or even past life selves, pieces of myself, my soul team coming through and each one of them had a message and an activation and a gift to give you. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. And there at the very end, one of my guides was sending compassion for all of those out there who have lost someone to coronavirus. And I want to take a moment and take a moment of silence and recognize all those across the world that have lost their life to this virus. And I want to honor their spirits, their sacrifice, and the beautiful life they had and all of those that they touched. So if you would join me here in a moment of silence to honor all the people that have passed over. Alrighty. Well, that was today's show. I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about light language, why I'm sharing it. It upped my game in my healing practice. It upped my game in my ascension practice, my journey. And I'll go ahead and share the information for the woman who activated me down below. And probably next week, I will go ahead and start off with a light language activation to see if I can activate you guys. Give you guys a nice little activation. Wouldn't that be nice? You guys want an activation? Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. Yes, give it to us, Rainbow Raaja. Rah! Yes, please. Yes, thank you. I will do it. Next week, look forward to light language activation so you can start to connect with your light language guides. Oh, by the way, light language people can also be angels. Just so you know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you guys liked this opening episode of Rainbows Rising, where we ascend together. Have a good day, guys. Bye. Are you ready to ascend to the next level? This is Rainbow Raaja, your spirit guide calling. Please be sure to keep all arms and legs inside your vessel at all times. I'm just here to remind you to take some time today. Support Rainbows Rising podcast. Go. Join the Discord community. Check out the Patreon. Get some stickers, custom tarot cards. Check out the merch. You know you want to. Go connect with Rainbow Raaja. Maybe even get a session. Who knows? Your support helps make this show possible. And she loves to support you. Help support her too. Once again, this is Rainbow Raaja, your spirit guide, guiding you to your ascension.